might as well expect all the rivers to run backwards as that any man who was born free should be contented to be penned up and denied liberty to go where he pleases. If you tie a horse to a stake, do you expect him to grow fat? If you pen an Indian up on a small spot of earth and compel him to stay there, he will not be contented, nor will he grow and prosper. I have asked some of the great white chiefs where they got their authority to say to the Indian that he shall stay in one place, where the white man sees that he can go wherever he pleases, and they cannot tell me. Let me be a free man, free to travel, free to stop, free to work, free to trade where I choose, free to choose my own teachers, free to follow the religion of my fathers, free to talk, think, and act for myself. And I will obey every law and submit to the penalty.
Reconciliation, just the dictionary meaning of it means, it could mean a couple things. One, to be friendly and harmonious again. So that's a good thing. But then it could also be taken as maybe you people should just reconcile yourself to the fact that this is the way it is. And sometimes I'm concerned that the latter is the case.
Reconciliation is not about being a spectator. It's not about sitting back and waiting for government and churches and corporations and business to change the way they do things. It's about changing the way you do things too.
One of my favorite things to say is that believing in the sacred is far more rational and sustainable than the destruction of the economic paradigm. We know the economic paradigm isn't working. Why do we keep thinking that it's so powerful and it's so rational? And even Western laboratory science, it's not sustainable. We need to go back to having reverence for the land and reverence for the water and reverence for that Chaudière Falls where Creator placed the first sacred pipe, the ultimate symbol of reconciliation.
What if we're a gift? Are a gift, and that our voice is important if Canada's going to understand who it is.
Everybody has to accept what they did and what had happened. And if we can get on that level, I think this world would be much more better environment to live in.
I do a lot of public education. I speak to a lot of non-Native people. I'm working with the Banff Center. We have an Allies program, and people come from all across the country. And one of the things I say to people is 97% of the population of Canada has experienced some form of trauma, and the other 3% are lying. We are all in this together.
We all share the same way of coming into the world. We all have children. We come together to raise children. We all can get together to eat together. We can pray together. We can dance together and sing together. We have to do it together, human being to human being, face to face. And can I just say, don't be afraid? Perfect love casts out fear.
Our people are so resilient, and they're still here. And there's this quote, and it's I don't remember who said it, but it's they tried to bury us, but they didn't realize that we are seeds.
As Native people, we have been sort of buried in Mother Earth, but our Mother continues to care for us, and through the gifts of all of our elements, that the seed is beginning to produce a plant that is growing, and this plant is rising above the earth.
The relationship in Canada shouldn't be so adversarial. It shouldn't be so adversarial. We're supposed to get along and mutually benefit from the wealth of this country.
Nobody's going anywhere here. We're not telling you to leave. We're saying if we are going to coexist in this land, in this territory, in this place, then we now have to talk about our terms of coexistence. What kind of relationship are we going to have? How are we going to get along here? And it's like taking a relationship of slavery and trying to turn it into a marriage.
What the commissioners of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission gave us is a roadmap to move forward. So there's 94 answers to the question, what can I do now? 94 answers to that.
At every service right over here in the cathedral, the dean stands up and at the beginning of the service says, we as a cathedral gather on the traditional ancestral lands of the Coast Salish people. Some people think it's repetitious and we've done it and it's unnecessary, but it's that drip of water on the stone that's saying the doctrine of discovery isn't right.